Good morning, Wayne Highlands Middle School. Today is Tuesday, April 28th, 2020. I'm Sheena Hogg.
And I'm Rebecca Dadig.
I'm Sam Isley.
I'm Mr. Piasecki.
I'm Dr. Jordan.
Please rise. Please join us for a salute to the flag, which will be followed by a moment of silence.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Alert, alert, alert. Tomorrow is a deadline to participate in the Hornet Strong Apparel Sale. In efforts to support the Wayne County Emergency Food Relief Fund, Friends of Football has set up a Hornet Strong Apparel Sale. All proceeds will be donated to Wayne County Emergency Food Relief Fund. To date, over $1,500 has been raised. Please visit the link tinyurl.com/HornetStrong for details. Deadline is tomorrow, April 28th.
And next, we have the WHMS Helping Out highlight. 7th grader Davin Good is today's highlighted student. Davin has been keeping busy while at home. He tries to do community service once a week. Here are a few examples of what he's been up to. Davin has sent jokes and pictures to Wayne and Pike County seniors and the Ellen Memorial Nursing Home. He sent a picture to the sailors on the USS Dwight D. Eisenhower. Davin went to Grandma's house with a poster to wish her a happy Easter from outside. Davin is currently making a poster for a senior whose birthday is coming up. Thank you, Davin, for reaching out to others to brighten their day. If you or someone you know is helping others out these days while still using proper social distancing, please email Mrs. O'Day and let her know.
Good morning, Wayne Highlands Middle School, students and parents, community, who's ever out there watching. I mailed home some information to all of our families last week. Hopefully you're getting it with what our new remote learning plan looks like. The big changes that starting May 4th, which is next week, it will be required and mandatory. It's no longer optional for our students. So I figured today would be a good time for me to come on here to make sure everyone knows that and announce that, and then take any questions that may have come up over the past week or so since we've announced that and things that are on students' minds. So girls, I think you girls had some questions there. Do you want to go over those?
Is the work that students are assigned in their teacher's Google Classrooms online optional or mandatory?
Yep. So as I just said, it's been optional enrichment up until May 4th. Starting on May 4th, it will be mandatory and required, and teachers will be moving on with new subjects, meaning, they were not moving on with new topics or teaching new topics. So now students will start to learn virtually about new topics. And yes, it is required, just like regular school is required, starting on May 4th.
Okay. How will things be graded?
That's a great question. So grading, because we're in this remote learning time, will be a little bit different than what what our students are normally used to when we're normally in school. For the fourth marking period, which will be the time that we've been connecting virtually and doing our remote learning plan, students will receive an O, S, or U. Instead of numeric grades like 0 through 100, they will receive outstanding, satisfactory, or unsatisfactory. Most of you are familiar with that because that's how your special area classes grade. So that will be the grading for all subjects, and that grading will be based on your participation, your engagement, and your effort throughout this remote learning plan. So if you're sitting back and you're not connecting on Google Classroom or putting in the effort to do that, yes, you could get an unsatisfactory, which is the equivalent of a failing. So there is grading, and it is very important you stay on top of it. And it will be O, S, or U for the fourth marking period.
Well, Dr. Jordan, will students get report cards for the third and fourth quarters?
Great question. We are actually working on right now finalizing all of our students' third marking period report cards. So the students' third marking period report cards will consist of all their grades and assignments up to March 13th, which was the last day we were physically at school. Once we get all those grades in, we get them on report cards. The first week of May, we are planning on mailing those. So May 6th, we will get those in the mail, and everybody will get their third marking period report cards. That will include honor roll for third marking period, never been absent club, principal's recognition list, just like we normally do. Fourth marking period, you will still receive a report card. Again, it will say OS or U for those classes as opposed to numeric grades. And we will mail that when the fourth marking period is over and when the teachers input those grades. But we will not have honor roll because the OS or U system will be a little bit different.
What if a student does not have internet at home?
So if any students are having trouble connecting to internet or they just don't have internet at home, that's obviously very important to be able to do the Google Classroom. I ask that they email me, pjordan@whsdk12.com, or call the office and leave a message for us, and I will talk to them over the phone about some options we could work out, taking into consideration that they may not be able to access it at home. Very good question, though.
What do we do about getting stuff from our lockers?
Another great question. So a lot of you have had left belongings in your lockers, whether they're textbooks, notebooks, binders, jackets, sweatshirts. We had some staff members, some teachers step up and help clean out those lockers, and they put everything in bags. And we have your bags in the gym. And on Wednesday and Thursday of this week, which I believe is the 29th and 30th, or let me just double check the date, the 29th and 30th, there are dedicated times where people with last names can pull up to the gym and I will bring out their bag with their locker contents in them. Again, I mailed that in the letter last week. It's on our website and it's also on our social media page, but that will be Wednesday and Thursday this week. Parents can drive up to our access road and we will bring out the locker contents. That includes your gym lockers as well.
Dr. Jordan, is there a plan for how students will turn back in their textbooks, library books, and other school belongings?
So right now we are in those bags. We are sending everything home, including textbooks, because now that teachers will be grading and they'll be giving assignments, you may need your textbooks. So they should be at home with you. And then at some point in June, we will have a plan developed where things can be returned to us. What that will look like, I'm not sure yet. But between now and June 12th, which is the last day of school, we will have a plan. We will send it out, and then students or parents can bring all their stuff that is our belongings, school belongings, textbooks, library books, things like that, and we will collect them for you at the end of the year. That will be coming some point closer to June 12th.
What will happen to the Gertrude Hawk candy order placed?
So the Gertrude Hawk candy order, we've postponed it because of the coronavirus and the situation that we've been in. We actually have received good news that we're going to be able to have the candy ready to be picked up on Wednesday and Thursday when parents come to get the locker stuff. So if you sold candy, right now it looks like we're going to have that available on Wednesday and Thursday, and we'll bring that out to your parents' car when they pull up, so you can take it home for you. So that's good news. We're happy about that.
How will we be graded for the PSSAs?
So PSSAs is a really interesting topic because you'd actually be taking a PSSA today if we were in school. But with the state has determined the PSSAs and Keystone exams are canceled for this year. So PSSAs will not be anything to worry about for this school year. You just will not take them. Next year will be a different story. So you don't have to worry about taking them. You don't have to stress about how you will score on them or what will happen with them. If you're worried, how will that affect what classes you go into next year? Schools will just look at different data points as opposed to PSSAs, like how you did in your classes, how you performed in your classes, maybe previous year's PSSAs. but this year's will have no impact on anything and will not be taken into account for anything because there is no test this year. Very good question.
Yeah, good one.
Will we have any sort of spirit games?
So, Rebecca, as you know, as an 8th grader, we always have lots of fun activities at the end of the year that everyone really looks forward to. And in terms of spirit games, our awards assembly, we are going to try to do those things in a virtual type setting. So some of the teachers are already in discussions as to how we could do spirit games virtually, where maybe you submit pictures of yourself participating in it and your homeroom teacher records it, and we'll still keep track of it and have a winner and have prizes for those winners that we can be creative and do virtually. Same thing with our awards assembly. We're looking and talking about doing something for our awards assembly and our 8th graders in particular before June 12th, that we can recognize them at least virtually to still recognize the awesome accomplishments of all our students before we end the school year. So we're going to try to do those things. It won't be the same, but in typical Wayne Highlands way and how your teachers are and how you students are, I know there's going to be a lot of fun still to be had this year, and a lot of great opportunities for you guys to get some fun out of this school year.
Dr. Jordan, I have one last question. Let's say we haven't addressed something already today that somebody else thinks of. What are some ways that they can get a hold of you to ask you that question?
Perfect. The best way to get a hold of me to ask any questions that you have, it doesn't matter how big or small it is by my email. Again, pjordan@whsdk12.com. For students, that's just not questions. That might be ideas you have for spirit games or ideas you have for our awards assembly or fun things we could do. I want to hear your ideas from our students. So, email me those is probably the best way. The other way of getting in touch with me is if you call the main office, 253-5900, and you leave a voicemail for me. I will be checking that a few times a week to see what's out there.
Excellent. Okay. Thank you.
Any other questions? The only other thing I just want to touch base a little bit about is, again, starting May 4th, it will be now our new remote learning plan where it's required for students to participate. Make sure that if you haven't already, you know how to access the Google Classrooms. Our school website has great resources on it to show you how to do that. If you're having any trouble with that, again, contact me or any of your teachers and we'll point you in the right direction. The format of this will be that your teachers on Fridays will be posting your assignments and your lessons, meaning the things that they're going to show you how to do it, whether it's a video or worksheets or whatever it might be. They'll post those on Friday. And then the goal is as you work through the following week that you're doing them when it's convenient for you. There's no set schedule each day, but our teachers are available from 9 to 11 and 1 to 3 for questions and check-ins to see how you're doing and make sure they can assist you. But it will be posted Friday, and then at times that you're available to do it is what works best for you.
That concludes this morning's announcements. Please hit that subscribe button so you never miss one of our Tuesday or Thursday broadcasts. And feel free to share this video with all your family and friends on social media. Have a wonderful day.
Bye.
Bye, everybody. Have a good day.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you. Thank you.